It's time to make some more mini cherry firewood. And I'd had those a while back. I did a video about I didn't know what the tool was to scrape the bark off the logs, and I was scraping it off those cherry logs. So I did end up cutting a few of those logs up into some cookies and then breaking them down. And the one thing with the Kindlet 200 is that the clearance is about 8 inches. So I like to kind of keep everything that goes through there right around 7 inches. So that way, if there's any knots or anything that kind of like pops up, it won't be too, there'll be a little room, there'll be a little tolerance in there to like clean out any of the pieces that might pop up and split awkwardly. So when I take the cookies, I try to make chunks, and you probably saw me with a tape measure, you might have been wondering why, but I try to make the chunks that are like 7 inches or, you know, less. Like this one here might only be 6.5, I don't know. But it just helps run everything through the Kindlet here a lot more, I think, efficient, because I'm not always going to be able to find logs that are under 8-inch diameter. And so when I get logs, no matter what the size is, I think it's worth the time to break down the cookies into smaller chunks that then go through the Kindlet much easier. I'm also trying something a little different today. I moved the kiln right over here so that I could just take right off the sorting table and toss the splits right into the kiln. Now that I'm a year older, I didn't feel like loading these baskets up over here and then carrying them over to where the kiln was. I'm not sure I'm going to leave it here and actually run the heat treatment cycle. It's very easy to just pick this thing up with the forks. So what I might do is I might come in now and just move this kind of back over where it was and run the heat treatment cycle over there. I don't know, I think it would be all right though. I mean, the stack is a little bit under this shelter, but it doesn't really, the smoke doesn't really come billowing out. So the smoke that kind of does slowly rise out of the chimney there would probably be all right. I don't know if it would come back inside here, and maybe I'll just wait till I'm done running the rest of this before I start it up. Not sure yet on that. What I am sure of is that having the bark taken off ahead of time did make a big difference. There's still a little debris and little dirt, but I think that's from that piece right there. Yeah, it just made a world of difference of how much cleaner this firewood was. Some of the pieces that were, for instance, this one is, you know, a little rotten. This one had a little dry rot on the bark. So like this pile is my quality control pile. My rejects, the pieces that don't make the cut, they get kind of pushed down there. And then that's the stuff that I use like for my own personal burning use, or some of it, like I said, I might go through and pick out. I do offer mini kindling, which does work great for starting fires and starting tabletop fire pits. Usually within each box, I do pack a few pieces at the top, some smaller pieces, just to use as kindling in your tabletop fire pit. But yeah, the non-bark pieces coming off the Kindlet here, I mean, you can just kind of see how much cleaner that is when there's no bark to deal with. It's just, it does make a world of difference. So now in that video a while back, the tool that I was thinking of was a draw knife. And last week on the live stream, my neighbor up the road, Brian, he's like, you know, he had messaged me that he had a draw knife, and he's like, I'll drop it off sometime. Well, last week on the live stream, he remembered, so he ran it down here during the live stream and dropped it off on the roadside stand. But I did use that on a maple log. I'm going to show you here in a second. And it actually did work very well. It worked great. Taking the bark off was not a problem. The only thing I have to now figure out, and I think I've just got confirmation of it this morning here. What I was thinking is, I'm not sure if it's going to be more effort to strip the bark beforehand, or if it's more effort separating out the bark and dealing with the dirt and debris and everything from the bark after it's been split. So here is the maple log that I debarked with that draw knife, and it is, let me get out of the shadow here, it is just great. This stuff is gonna run through just like that cherry. It's gonna be sweet. I was really surprised at the amount of moisture underneath the bark. I mean, it was pretty crazy how wet it was. So yeah, that maple log right there took all the bark off it. I'm not sure, I didn't really keep track how long it took, but it was a little bit of effort that was needed. It just didn't, it didn't peel off nice and easy like a standing dead oak tree. So it did require a little effort, a little elbow grease. So the draw knife definitely did work taking the bark off this maple log. And I think after this morning run here with the cherry, I definitely think it's going to be worth it to take the bark off before I run it through the Kindlet. So that'll do it. I'm going to get back to running some more of this cherry. I got a lot of chunks there to get through. I'm not sure I'm going to get it all done today. I might just fire up this kiln and get this batch done, and then wait and split more and do another batch. We shall see. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night.